Yeah, today I want to talk about the oppressed Jews in America today. See, people are under the misunderstanding that Jews control everything, and they're just making people's lives miserable, this, that, and the third. But that is way far from the truth. You have to understand that in America, it's a caste system, and black people in this caste system, the native blacks of America, we are at the bottom of the caste system in America, and everybody else is above us. Now, the dark immigrants, they right above us. You know what I mean? Right above us, and the poor whites. Because, okay, first it's the blacks. We at the bottom. Then you got the poor whites. They at the next level. Then you got the immigrants, the darker immigrants. They're next. But see, the Jews, they're in a position to where their glass ceiling is just higher than the whites and the blacks, but they are an oppressed people as well. They don't run nothing, because if they did, they wouldn't be always put on Front Street. When the stuff goes down, everybody is made to look at the Jews and like, okay, let's get them, because they're doing all of this mess. See, nothing could be farther from the truth. Now, they're a loyal bunch. Jews are loyal to the cause, and this whole thing, this white supremacy thing, it was meant to be for a time, for a whole bigger reason, to stop like weapons of mass destruction, to stop the earth from tearing itself apart, because we had that kind of knowledge before the Dark Ages, back in the days, when the pyramids was built, we had the knowledge to split this earth apart, and then we had the attitudes that will put such a thought in place, because we had came down from where we were mentally, spiritually. We had come down to an earthly level, but we had technology. So the whole world decided that this was a wrong time for technology. This is way back, okay, say the pyramid days. We had the technology, interstellar, intergalactic, all of that, weapons of way mass destruction. So there was a decision to hide the knowledge. Thus, you wound up in the Dark Ages. And we messed up in America. What happened? We broke off from that and started inventing stuff. And that came back up until, we started getting sophisticated. Then they went over to Egypt, messing around in the pyramids, found out some stuff. And then the American Negroes over here started inventing stuff. And, so we broke from the Dark Ages and came into another situation. And so that's where we are, just trying to stop the mass destruction and weapons thereof. So anyway, you got people set in place for that. This was an agreement with the whole world that knew about that. So Jews are playing their part in this, but they have a glass ceiling as well. Jews, see, you don't amass no wealth. You talk to live meager and let everybody else be flashy, and you just live humble. And you want to go around with that humble walk. When you get older, you aspire to be walking around like you humpback and stuff. And that's your aspirations, to be humble and amass the wealth, but you giving it over to the people that sent you to do what you do. And they always put you on the spot. See, because we're coming into this day of truth, is what it's going to call. Truth and enlightenment. So whatever you do, whatever you've done, we starting over. You understand? So when we in a day of truth, all that falsehood is out the window. And ain't nobody going to come after Jews this time, because this is the big one. We all just going to be free and start over, or it's going to be hell to pay. But in the end, we still going to be free and start over. But there's just two ways to do that. The easy way, the hard way. The whole thing is about the truth. And in an enlightened era, it's nobody going to come after a minion of a minion's minion. You understand? So the Jews are oppressed too. Because everywhere, okay, say in Israel, you got people putting them in Israel and doing the fighting. Now, do you think they running stuff? Would you put your kings somewhere on the front line somewhere? Say, well, don't worry about it. I give you better weapons and I'll give you all the equipment. You do our bidding over there, that you amass the wealth and give it to us. Don't live flashy. Let everybody else live flashy. Let the poor people live flashy. You take advantage of them, their stupidity, and be above them. But you don't live flashy. You just give us your wealth. And this is what's happening with Jews. So they're definitely oppressed. Most definitely. And then to get caught up in that lifestyle, being many don't know their real role. So they get caught up in the lifestyle of, keeping people in their place, prospective places. And that takes a lot out of people. It's just a human issue. You understand? So if you caught up in that and thinking that that's the end of life, that's a servant mentality. You understand? So the Jews need help too. Real talk. Because like you say, if you were running this, you wouldn't be put in a position in Germany to where, okay, now Hitler's going to take the madness out on you. You wouldn't be put in Israel to where if they break bad over there, you right there. But the people that sent you there don't even come around. You understand? Don't worry about it. We'll give you better weapons. You stay over there and do that. Or America, in a situation where everybody's looking at a Jewish person as the cause of all of these problems. Nothing can be further from the truth. They have a glass ceiling too. You understand? But in the day of truth, all of that's going to be out the water. And hopefully the people that sent the Jews, or who are backing the white supremacy movement in America, hopefully that they have not got caught up in the madness. Because it's easy to get caught up in a power struggle. This is what's happening in the Washington, D.C. today. It's a power struggle because the ones who really know what's going on know what time it is. So they're bringing in a new era. But the deep state, I would say, all of the corrupt politicians, they have to stop doing what they're doing. It's not like they have to go, but they have got so used to satanic rituals and, sacrifices and murder, this abortion business. They're selling body parts and babies and fetal, even babies that are born. They tell them, oh, it's a stillbirth. And all the time they're selling these babies' body parts. You understand what I'm saying? And all of these abortions, you're killing these seeds. And, that's spiritual warfare. Some of these seeds haven't had a chance to be in the earth. So they're going back up and not getting with the collective. They're doing their own thing. All they know is what they learned in the womb. Because once conception happens, there's life. But that is another topic. So what I'm saying about that is that people have got caught up in the madness of the control, because there was supposed to be control of people, divide and conquer. That's what was supposed to happen. You understand? So it happened. But if you get in a position to where you're doing something, say the politicians are running all of the drugs, you understand, controlling all of the gangs, you understand, the crime, the prostitution, the human trafficking. But once they get power struck on that and don't want to give that up, then they don't realize that, you didn't make up this system. You were placed there. America has been nothing but a trap house for the countries who know better. What a trap house is? It's a house where they sell drugs. It got like one beanbag on the floor and no furniture. And, a refrigerator and a beanbag on the floor, and they do nothing but sell drugs. That's a trap house. And the people who stay there work, they sell the drugs, and somebody comes and drops them off drugs and collects money. That's what overseas was doing to America. They drop you off drugs and give you open sea to corruption, and they collect money from you, using our military to go to other countries and scare them, intimidate them. And these other countries was, by us doing that, the other countries was taking drugs from these foreign countries. You understand? and selling them back to America. See, as long as you pay a few politicians $1 million here, $1 million there, because just think about it. 1,000,000 times 1,000 is 1 billion. So you just pay 1,000 politicians $1 million apiece, and you got the thing locked and sold up. And why you taking hundreds of billions out of this country? So America has been a trap house for corruption for the longest. We've been idiots. And that's why when Trump say stupid trade, it wasn't really stupid trade. It was designed. It was very clever trade, just not for the trap house queens over here. It's what you call people that work in the trap house queens. So it was very cleverly designed, but it just didn't work out in our best interest. So that whole thing is being changed, because now dig the move. If you got a white supremacy thing going on to control the world, now if drugs got whites dying faster than they being born, or just at an alarming rate, then what that says is that that's not working no longer for white supremacy. That doesn't work for white supremacy. So it has to be stopped. It was cool when it was killing the blacks. We don't die, we multiply type stuff, right? So, I mean, in order of white supremacy, I don't want blacks to die. Trust me, I'm with my people. But in the order of white supremacy, they wanted to smooth off some blacks, but now the drugs are killing off whites. So it's not working. I said all that to say, you still got white people, they don't give a damn. Them trap house queens, the politicians that are involved in the drug trade, they don't care nothing about that. They're not told about the higher level of this whole thing. So they still want to sell the drugs because it's making them money. It's giving them power. Because, if you're making a lot of money, but you got to keep it underground, then you get into, sadistic type of living. You want to pay for things on the underground and on the black market. You understand? So they're getting caught up in this power thing. Instead of saying, okay, we built this system on white supremacy and it's working for us. This is how we got where we got, and leaving it there. They saying, no, I'm not giving this up. So it's a power struggle. The ones who know better is backing Trump and, got to move this whole thing out the way. He's really got a war on drugs. It's serious now. Everything else was just a war on black people to perpetuate the slavery. And they trying to do prison reform without justice reform, which that's really going to perpetuate the slavery. And then mixing the Board of Education with the Board of Labor, together. So you want sixth graders working too now. We're not even talking about changing the curriculum. See, and this is what we got to talk about as black people. But the thing is, those who want to stay in power, when you get an invitation to free political prisoners, you free Jeff Ford and Larry Hoover. Bam, Chicago is good. And then you got a president with the power to do that and is offering to do it. But these trap house queens have got us so afraid to even go and ask to get these people out of jail. Two people that can save Chicago, Jeff Ford and Larry Hoover. And there are others. You got the BDs from the Calumet building. Once they start trying to do good for the community, then they got taken to jail. It's just like anywhere else. You gather up all of the leaders, you make a movement, gather up all the leaders, kill them off. So that's what happened with the gangs or street organizations in this country. They gathered up all of our leaders, saw where they were, and then took them to jail. After they put the drugs in the community and spread the gangs throughout the nation. Then put the leaders in jail. There are a lot of leaders. But in Chicago right now, we're going through a crisis. Many people believe that it's police dressing up in blackface. They got these synthetic masks that look just like black people, and with the gloves and everything. People think that it's them in the community doing a lot of this shooting, and I happen to believe that, man, because it's FBI all over the place. Now, the thing is, Trump is working on the FBI at the higher level. A lot of them are getting fired now because they're asking tough questions. And then we can work on the FBI at the lower level. We need our political prisoners out of jail, though. But, my main thing is, like I said, Jewish people is not running this whole thing in the big scheme of things. Because if they were, they wouldn't always be the target of so much hate. Because if things go up, see, they're expendable people, and they've been very loyal to their cause, But to get caught up in that, it's in the day of truth, it's not going to work. None of it is going to work. See, so we're moving. It's going to be real easy. Either you with the truth or you're going to be with deception. Now, during the time where we had to divide and conquer, then it took deception to do this. Understand? But in the time where freedom and righteousness is going to rule, a time of awakening, it's going to be a time of truth, and deception will be exposed. It just won't be tolerated. And the thought of mass destruction will be caught and killed as a thought. You understand? So the people who were put in place to do this here, you can look at it like this here, man. Look, we are here, man. It's billions of people on this earth, and the earth isn't cracked up and, a wasteland. So they did a good job, despite all of the wars and all of that. I call them the gatekeepers. You understand what I'm saying? That's just my little term for it. The people that really know in the grand scheme of things what this is all about. The people who would stop the earth and people of earth from blowing themselves up. So the ones who's constantly looking out for weapons of mass destruction, because that is their duty and has been for thousands of years, to take the earth back into, we'll say, relative ignorance of technology. So that nobody would destroy the earth. And that's what this is all about. So anyway, there had to be a lot of dividing and conquering, a lot of history lost, a lot of knowledge lost. It's put up, they got it. And in due time, it'll come out. But hopefully when we move into this transition of from the darkness to the truth in the world, then hopefully, we will be caught up in the truth. So I mean, it could be hard, it could be easy, whatever. I don't know about all of these things, but I just know it's coming. The truth is here because karma is here. We don't even have to fight no more, man. Karma is taking care of the issue. So we've gone back to spirituality. We have lost so much spirituality that the only thing that's holding us up is the Most High. The spirits himself had to come down and say, here, look, man, this is the only way you can walk, because you lost touch with your higher self. So we got to touch you. So we getting touched by the real deal now. And so people, yeah, man. So, if our blacks want to fight blacks, and blacks want to fight poor whites, and poor whites want to fight Jews, and, all of this business, man. We just got different glass ceilings, baby. We need to recognize that. Yes, Jews are oppressed. We're not oppressing them. No. But they are oppressed. Believe that. But in the day of truth, hey, we'll all be brothers. Because, hey, we'll be brothers in the truth. Okay? Until next time, I'll talk to you, and be easy, man. Look at the big scheme of things. Stay prayed up. Get back in connection with your higher selves. All right.